I'm here with one of our Max associates that has become a real friend. Bruce Mathison is a former NFL quarterback with the Bills, the Chargers, and the Seahawks. I first met Bruce in Phoenix, where we introduced him to Max GXL. You know, before he even tried the product, he informed me that he would never again become involved with a network marketing company. And yet, a month later, he became a Max associate. And today, he's a full-time associate. Bruce, what happened?
You and that product right there, that's exactly what happened. You know, I was very reluctant. As you know, I argued with you a little bit in Phoenix about this and said, you know, I've seen from steroids to all kinds of drinks, from fruit drinks to pills, and nothing's ever made that big a difference. And so I tried it. You forced me to, and another gentleman said, you know, you got to take it. And I didn't notice anything right away. In fact, I called the gentleman that gave me the product and said, get out of that company, this product doesn't work.
Good.
So, you know, it was so funny, but in a few days I noticed one thing, sleep. You know, I would get up a couple times a night and go to the restroom or let the dog out, and I found that I was sleeping through the night. Not only that, I was dreaming. Dreams were fun because I was back in the plane in Buffalo, back playing at Nebraska, I had old friends, old relatives, and that was unique, and I remembered them. And I found those subtle differences when I was on this product, that not only was I remembering my dreams, I could remember where I set my wallet, I could remember where I put my keys. My wife, she would give me these honey-do lists, and she would be so upset with me because I wouldn't do them. But now I remember them. I still don't do them, but now I remember them.
I'm just glad you've got a wife. I mean, here I know I've got my list. It's nice to hear that an NFL quarterback gets his list too.
You know, Steve, I just turned 50, and I can't tell you how just good I feel. Taking this product makes me feel good. I like that probably the best part.
Now, how many packs a day do you take?
You know, I started out with 5.
Wow.
You know, in the NFL, if you take 1, that's good, but if you take more, that's got to be better. So I wanted to see it work. I actually wanted to make sure that if I'm going to get involved, and I looked at this because I made a list, and the list was all the reasons why I shouldn't do this. And now I have another list, and that list has outgrown this 10 times of why all the reasons I should. Makes a huge difference. And I've seen some dramatic differences in my workouts. And for a while, I've had 2 back operations, and so I'm really careful about what I do, but I'm finding I can do more. I don't hurt as much, and I'm getting in better shape. I'm doing this workout that's very difficult, and I don't feel that pain, I don't feel that anxiety, and I get through the workouts, and it's terrific. I belong to the NFL Alumni Association, I belong to the NFLPA, the retired group, and they have meetings, and we get together annually and semi-annually, and I watch them. I think that this product for them is a perfect choice.
Wow. Now, have you shared the product with anybody?
Oh, I have. Lots. It's a natural to talk about because in casual conversation, I can go back to the guys I've talked with and find out how they're doing, how they're feeling. Because we all have issues. We all have problems. And so I'll give you one instance. There's a gentleman who played with me up at Seattle, and he was a wide receiver. And he called me and said, no, I don't want to do that, Bruce. You tried this before with me. I'm not interested. I said, Jimmy, just try the product. Just try it and see what happens. And so it seems like a lot of these athletes like golf. So he went out golfing, and he was golfing with another pro athlete, in fact, 3 more pro athletes. And they were on the golf course, and by the 17th hole, all 3 of these guys turned around to my buddy, and he goes, what are you on? What are you taking? He goes, what do you mean? He goes, whatever it is, we want some. He goes, what are you talking about? He says, you're hitting the ball well, you're dancing, you're singing, you're running around here. He goes, and it's hot and muggy. And he goes, you just got all this energy. We want whatever you're taking. He goes, taking this. And he holds out that little package of GXL.
Oh, so now that's Jimmy Teal.
That's Jimmy Teal.
I hope we have him on Athlete's Corner soon.
He would. He absolutely wants to come up here because he's got a great story.
Yeah, is he telling people about Max?
His attitude alone shows that he's doing something different. People ask him all the time, what are you doing? Because he's got this extra step. He's working out now twice a day, and he's already lean. And he just said he feels so great. And I noticed this about this product, about a lot of the athletes that I introduced the product to. Their attitudes change. They're happier. They're more energetic. They got a little kick in their step. And for them at age 50 and 60, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, you know, I just went on the road and interviewed former Heisman Trophy winner, you know.
Johnny Rodgers.
Johnny Rodgers, Johnny the Jet. And it's completely changed his life. We'll look at that interview in a minute. But and the one thing he brought up was golfing. He couldn't golf anymore. He said, I had to drive by golf courses and I would get angry because I couldn't even get out of my car. I didn't feel good enough to get out of the car, much less golf. And he loved golf. And yet, just a month or two on the product, and he was back to playing golf, and he couldn't believe it. In fact, he told me, as you'll see in the interview, he shot his first subpar game on Max. So it seems like that's making a big difference.
Absolutely it was. I mean, anything from the 18th hole or the 9th inning or the 4th quarter or the 3rd period or that second event or the end of a marathon. All these athletes, from former Olympians to former NFL players to former baseball players, soccer players, volleyball players, they all say the same thing. They've got that sustained energy. When they call on it, it's there. It's not that we don't get sleepy or tired, but when you need it, it's there right now. And that recovery time has just been cut in half. They can do it more often and more intense, and it's just terrific.
Now, would you ever think about going off Max now that you've been on it for a while?
I did.
Did you?
For 2 days.
Oh.
I took a trip, and I didn't take it. And by the end of the 2nd day, I was wiped. I was just completely tired, fatigued. There was no focus, there was no energy, there was lack of stamina. I'm going, what is the deal? And I go, oh my goodness, you know what? I haven't taken that product now in a day and a half because I forgot it.
Yeah.
But we were so busy and wrapped up in what we were doing. But there's a difference.
Dr. Keller called this stealth energy. It's not energy you notice. It's just that from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, you feel good. You feel 100%. Well, Bruce, let's talk about our first interview. I went out on the road for a week, and I did 2 interviews. The first one was with Johnny Rodgers. You went to University of Nebraska. I assume he's a legend there as a Heisman Trophy winner. And for those of you that don't know, Johnny Rodgers won the Heisman Trophy in 1972. He was Nebraska's first Heisman Trophy winner. The guy set 44 NCAA records, and 19 were still standing when he was inducted into the College Hall of Fame in 2001. I mean, this guy, he was a punt returner, a kick returner. He was he did different back position, running backs. His total yardage for 3 years of playing was 5,998 yards. I mean, this guy, tell me what you thought when you looked at Johnny Rodgers.
Watching the jet, I was trying to catch a fly with some chopsticks. It's almost impossible because he was so quick, so fast, and what a great guy.
But Johnny, like so many athletes, got banged up, told me that he was really wondering if life was worth living, that he was 57 years old, and he said, I thought, man, if I feel this way now at 57, do I even really want to live till 70? And Max came into his life, completely changed his life. And let's take a look at the interview.